Hi guys, and welcome to United Pulse. There's a lot going on right now in at the United front. Uh, we have a lot to uncover, but today let's focus on three main things. First of all, the Community Shield. Secondly, the transfer window, and lastly, the next game, the first game of the season against Fulham home. So, looking back at the Community Shield, I feel like there wasn't much to show for when it comes to United or even Manchester City. It didn't feel like the first game of the season in the transfer window, first competitive game. It felt more like a friendly match, even though United lost. But the game was 1-1 up until the substitution happened. Nothing really was there to show from both sides, Manchester City or even United. There were a few moments where you could see that, like, okay, the players are giving something, but overall, I didn't feel like this was the game that we've been waiting to watch. It didn't feel like the FA Cup, like, for example. So for me, it felt like a waste of time watching that game. But overall, I feel like there were a few things which we can point out. For example, Sancho's disappointing performance again. I feel like we're talking about Sancho so much negatively when he's playing for United. It just feels like he can't catch a break. Rashford missing so many chances. Sancho missing the penalty, and then there's so many things that we can talk about. But I feel like the game, there's nothing much that I really want to talk about when it comes to Community Shield. The only thing is that like I feel like it was a wasted opportunity. This was the game that United should have gone for, and there are a few reasons for it. First of all, I feel like if Ten Hag would have played this game as, let's say, like, for example, played it like Champions League final, it would have such an impact on his presence that he's serious for United's next coming season. But it wasn't that. It felt like he's just preparing his team for the league. And that was disappointing because, let's be honest, we don't have the capability of competing against Manchester City for the next season. Like, I can't say that United has the team strength or the players capable enough that we are going to be winning the league next season. Maybe with the incomings that we are getting right now, maybe we will be able to be in the top 4 or maybe top 5. That is something that I personally feel more confident in. But when it comes to winning the league, there's no chance. It would be miracle. So winning this trophy could be something like some silverware that we are taking home. When it comes to the next season's FA Cup or League Cups or things like this, nobody knows. Like, maybe we will qualify, maybe we qualify for the next stage or not. We don't know what would be the situation. We don't know. Like last season, we had so many injuries. We don't know what would be the situation of the injuries next season as well. So this was a good chance that United could have actually gone and win some silverware for the next season. Now, coming back to the transfer window, we have released a lot of players. We have released Rafael Varane, Anthony Martial has left, Tom Hiddleston have left, Brandon Williams have left, Omari Forson have left, Charlie McNeil has left. From all of this list, I feel like Varane could have actually commanded some fees if he was sold. Anthony Martial could have commanded some fees if he was sold, because both of these players are easily worth more than 10-15 million, in my opinion. Rafael Varane, he is a serial Champions League winner. Even at this age, I feel like he would have commanded at least 5-10 million. Anthony Martial, yes, maybe he's not the prime Anthony Martial that we were getting, or the but still, I feel like he is easily worth 20 million or 15 million or at least 10 million. But releasing him for free, the only thing that we are getting back is the salaries. So I feel this is a waste. Tom Huddleston, okay, I'm not going to question his releasing him because he was already playing for our youth side. So he was more like a coach slash player kind of situation. So I wouldn't question that much. Brendan Williams, I feel like he could have commanded some fees. Omari Forson, these and Charlie McNeil, all three of them, they are from our youth side. This is pure profit. Even if we get 5, 6 million something for these players, it's something. It's pure profit, and that is something that I feel Manchester United are lacking. That we have released players, we have sold players, which could have commanded some money. I'm not going to question like how much money Manchester United have spent buying players. I personally feel sad that like we are unable to sell players. Okay, we can question Varane and Martial because their salaries are high, so it is very difficult for us to sell them. But what about our youth side? These players are not on high wages. When we are comparing Brandon Williams, we are comparing Omari Forson, Charlie McNeil. These don't command a lot of salaries. It shouldn't be difficult for United to sell these players. So that is a big question mark. If we look at other clubs, they are selling their youth players for good money, 5, 10, 15, 20 million. So why is it so difficult for Manchester United to sell our youth players for some money? And maybe even 5, 10 million or 2 million or 3 million something, but nothing. That is sad. And then we sold Donny van de Beek, Willie Kamwala, Mason Greenwood. Fine, all three of them. I feel like amongst all three of them, Greenwood is a question mark because I feel like there is a situation over there. It's not really black and white. So it was a very tough decision for the club to make as well. And I would neither agree or disagree on that. Willie Kambwala, I feel like this is a player that Manchester United could have hold on because I feel like he had the capability of being maybe a third choice or fourth choice or even fifth choice centre back because we have been struggling at the back front. We have had a lot of injuries in the past, and even right now, if you see, I mean, Lenny Yoro, he's our new centre back and he's already injured. So United has a history of centre backs getting injured. So we need backups. And he was a good backup. I'm not saying that he would straight away fit into our first team, but he's a good backup. So we need players like that. And then Aaron Wan-Bissaka is leaving. I feel like, okay, it's we need to let go of certain players to get some cash in so that we can reinvest that money in getting someone else. And I think it's a good decision because he hasn't been providing uh, strong competition to Dalo. And I feel like Dalo needs a competition. And maybe it's my own personal opinion. I feel like Dalo should be playing more upfront. He is a more attacking defensive player than a right back. So I wouldn't be surprised like if we are struggling on the right wing side, we play Dalo up front, and then now that we have almost agreed a deal with Mazraoui, he has already cleared his medical as well. So it's more or less the deal is done. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I hope that we can actually test him up front and we can actually play Mazraoui and Dalo together on the right side if we are struggling on the wing. Because if you see, Anthony is not doing much on the right. He's really one-dimensional kind of a player, and every other team in the Premier League, they know how he's playing. So he's not really giving something special. Uh, when it comes to what's his name? Diallo. Amad Diallo is not getting enough chances as well. He has shown time and time that he can be United's right winger, but he hasn't been given enough chances, and I feel like that's a waste. But if he is not getting enough chances, I feel like Dallo should be playing up front much more because you can see the urge in him going forwards. He is taking risks all the time and he is trying to score goals as well. So why not test him up front? Maybe it's my own personal opinion. Maybe a lot of people will agree with it, or maybe not. But this is something that maybe we could have tried. And even if we didn't sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we could have tried this with that, because Aaron Wan-Bissaka doesn't want to go forward too much, and he's somebody who lacks tracking back, but he is really good in defensive. He's a really good defensive right back. So why not we test? Why didn't we test it? Dalo playing up front, and then Aaron Wan-Bissaka playing back. So it could have worked. But when it comes to transfer coming in, because I haven't seen much of Zixi at the moment for United, let's be honest. We could have got so many good players from a lot of different regions, but when it comes to Premier League, it's a very different ballgame. Uh, we have seen a lot of good players coming in the Premier League, and they have never settled down. So, and he's still young. Maybe he will be successful. Maybe he won't be successful. I hope he's successful, and that is what we are looking for. But I don't want to put a lot of titles on him that, like, oh, he will be a success or this and that. I hope he's a success, but still, he hasn't accomplished enough for me to be so excited that we are getting someone really exciting. So Delete, he's coming soon. I hope we sign him in I think couple of I think tomorrow the news will be out that he has cleared his medical, because the last tweet that Fabrizio Romano did is that both Masraoui and Delete have completed their medical, so it should be a done deal. I'm quite hopeful for him as well, but he's still young as well. He has played at the top level. He has played in Champions League. So I'm more excited about him than Zixi. But at the same time, all of these players, uh, they are not marquee signing. Someone like, when you say that, okay, you bought this player, you would be excited. Like, I can't say that, like, when we are set, if we buy these players in 1 year time, we can sell these players for 100 million. There's not a single player in United's whole team that I can say that if tomorrow we want to sell this player, we can command 100 million plus for that player. There was a time when Rashford could have gone for 100 plus, but looking at the last season, start of this season, it doesn't feel like it's the same Rashford which we all hope that he would be. So it is what it is. It's a good transfer window for United or not, I'm not really sure. We will only know when the season properly starts. We will only know when all the players are back, the team has really started to work together. Then only we will know. Because at the moment, I feel like we are still lacking a lot of depth in our team. But at the same time, to get that depth, we need to remove the deadwood. There's so much deadwood in United's team right now that it is very difficult for us to predict the future. Looking at the team prediction for the 16th of August Friday match against Fulham at home, I feel like because we still have a lot of injuries in left back, I feel like maybe if um, Ten Hag wants, we can use Mazraoui on the left back because he has played at left back before. Delit and Martinez might start. Maybe Delit will start. Maybe he won't start, because it all depends on whether Ten Hag has seen enough of them in the training ground. But that would be my prediction that Delit and Martinez will be starting. I personally feel like Garnacho and Ahmad should start on the wings. Whether Ten Hag accepts that or not, that's another story, or whether he still wants to play with Rashi. I don't know. But I personally feel Ahmad and Garnacho should start. Garnacho has been our top player in the last season as well, and even after in the Community Shield as well. When he came on, United looked much more aggressive. Will Zirkzee start or not? I personally feel he will not start, looking at the track record of Ten Hag. But he might start as well. In the midfield, I feel like Mainu will start. Fernandez is an obvious start because he's the captain. Casa, I feel is 99% he will start. The only thing that I am doubting or that I am questioning is whether Mount will start or not. If Mount will start, what will be our front three? Because if Mount is starting and Fernandez is also starting, then we are not playing anyone as number 10. So that means maybe Rashi won't start or Rashford will start on the left, and then we will not be playing Garnacho on the left as well. So that it would be similar to what we saw in Community Shield. So my main concern is for Rashford. That's in the upfront, because I feel he hasn't given enough to start the league, and I feel like Garnacho has. So Garnacho should be starting, but then it all comes down to Ten Hag because he's the coach, and let's see. I'm hopeful. I feel like the Fulham game will be interesting, and a lot of things could be much more clear on the team front, because I feel like United is not finished in the transfer window. I feel like we will still go into transfer market again, and we will be looking at a few other positions as well. I feel maybe another center midfielder, or maybe a left back, and maybe another center back as well. And it all depends on who will leave the club as well. Maybe we will let go of some center backs as well. Maybe who knows, Lindelof will leave. Maybe so, or maybe Maguire even will leave. It all depends on who leaves and what are our priorities as well. I've heard that we are going back for Brentwood, but I feel like we have already spent too much money on centre back. So I think that we will not go for Brentwood, but it's still in the news. So you never know. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time, we will be making another video for the first game of the season. Let's see, and let's see what we can buy in the transfer window in the next few days. Have a nice day. See ya. Cheers.